19 ingredients, 15 patented forms, and a 27-gram scooper. Holy crap. So what's happening, guys? Hope your day's going well. Just finished my day at work and wanted to jump in the car and do this review for you guys. This is a 27-gram scoop pre-workout. Just so you know, now you pack the scoop, you flat level it, and you're 27, 28 grams. So you don't really need a scale on it. Just flat level it and pack it. This has got 15 patented ingredients, and it's got like 19 total ingredients in here. This thing is packed. And this is Apollon Nutrition's Triumph Elite Pre-Workout. Got the scooper out of the way already. Let me just get the flavor out of the way because I want to jump into this. This one kind of made me nervous because it may be long. I don't want you guys to be sitting around forever. So, but if I can condense it, if I can get it into like a 12, 15-minute mark, then I will definitely try. But I'm not going to sacrifice information for time. So it's just me. I want you guys to know what you're putting in your body and how it delivers, goodness, badness, whatever it is, and the effects. And I'll try to break down the effects because this thing comes in totally different than any of their other pre-workouts. So this is not an assassin comparable pre-workout, Time Cop, Hooligan. This is something totally different. So if you're new to the channel, my name is David. This is my mission of muscle. I review supplements. If you look at all my videos, it's not just pre-workouts, proteins, health supplements, and whatever I can get my hands on, whatever people send me. I'll review them, go over the ingredients, and deliver the information for you guys. So jumping right into this, Apollon Nutrition's Triumph Elite Pre-Workout. Look at that label. The artwork on this thing is really nice. It's totally different than any of their other labels. So I don't know who actually did this. The guy who used to own Inspired, I don't know his name off the top of my head. I am horrible with names, but he's put out some hidden products himself, and he's into art, and he did a fantastic job. I got some links down below. Looks better online, so if you want to check this out, I advise going and checking out because this picture of this guy's back on here that he drew up or put together is inspiring. It'll motivate you to get your butt in the gym. I guarantee it. So jumping right into the ingredients, we'll put them off to my left here. Get into the light. We got calories. We'll get this out of the way. Calories are 15. Carbohydrates 2. Protein 2. Then we got niacin at 40 milligrams for some little vasodilation to skin level. And then we've got vitamin B6 for some brain health, 20 milligrams. Folate, which a lot of us are deficient in, 1,300 micrograms. Vitamin B12 for some energy, metabolic energy and metabolism. Then we got 250 micrograms. And then some sodium for some hydration effects at 430 milligrams. Right on the top of the label here, getting into the good stuff. We got L-citrulline, 8 grams. This is for vasodilation and pumps. This is bypasses the digestive system, turns into arginine from the kidneys, and creates nitric oxide, NOS. This is endothelial NOS. It relaxes the blood vessels for more blood flow. But what you might not know is this is an ammonia recycling ingredient. So what this does is it recycles ammonia in the body. So it helps you get rid of excess ammonia that's being built up in the body during training and for health-wise, but it also helps you push through that burn. So when you get that burn, now you're on that 12, 13, 14 rep, and it's burning so much that you just got to drop the weight. A lot of that is ammonia building up in the body, in the muscle. So having this ingredient for the ammonia recycling is going to allow you to push through a few more reps with that burn before it gets too intense. So fantastic ingredient. Then we got carnosine, which is beta-alanine. It's the patented form of it at 3.2 grams, efficacious dose. Beta-alanine is more reps, more sets in the gym, especially if you're saturated. Has some great endurance benefits and some strength benefits and power outfit benefits when you're saturated, but it does have some acute benefits from taking it from pre-workouts 3, 4, 5 days a week as well. And what this does is this turns into histine in the body, and then it turns into, or it binds with histine, and then it turns into carnosine in the body. And carnosine actually controls hydrogen in the body, and it kind of buffers hydrogen, especially in the muscles. And what happens if you get too much hydrogen in the muscle becomes acidic, so it loses its pH to it, and you lose your contractional capability. So this allows to buffer hydrogen so you can push through more sets and more reps for a longer period of time. Then we've got arginine nitrate, NO3, 3 grams. So NO3 turns into NO2, then turns into nitric oxide. This is a very fast-acting ingredient, pretty much. Some people feel it come in quicker than the L-citrulline. Some people feel it come in afterwards. But this usually, if you drink this and you let it go through the saliva in your mouth and the bacterias, and it hits your gut and the bacterias, those actually activate the NO3. They break it down into NO2 and then quickly break it into nitric oxide. So this is a straight shooter, a two-part to one-part shooter right into vasodilation for oxygen delivery, pump. And usually if you're thin enough, this is going to bring out those blood vessels for some nice vascular look there in the gym when you're looking in the mirror and doing some curls. And you're like, yeah, veins are popping out. Then we've got L-tyrosine, 3 grams. So L-tyrosine in the body turns into L-dopa, then turns into dopamine. And the way this works is this increases norepinephrine and epinephrine in the brain for cognitive function and focus by taking the spillover of dopamine and turning that spillover of dopamine, converting it into norepinephrine and epinephrine. So the more L-tyrosine you take, the more of a spillover you're going to have, the more of a kick of dopamine, and then the more of a noradrenaline and adrenaline kick, or epinephrine and epinephrine kick in the brain for more cognitive function and focus. This helps with stress. So we lose that catecholamine triad, all those ingredients working. They deplete when your body's under stress, lack of sleep, too much exercise, or exercising intensely. And this will keep that brain function up for an ample amount of time during your training. Then we've got beta power. Is that beta power? Yeah, betaine anhydrous, which is a nutraceutical form of betaine anhydrous, 2.5 grams. This is a cell hydration ingredient. So this balances out the cell hydration. It helps because it's hydrating the cells. It gives you more power and strength in the gym. This is also an osmolyte, which helps with enzyme production and protein health in the body, and it's a methyl donor. And what methyl donors do is they help you absorb vitamins, B6, B12, niacin, anything from your meals. They help it absorb in your body, and they help with RNA and DNA in your body, which is on a cellular level. This is how your body's made. So a very healthy ingredient all around, has a lot of other health benefits to it, but just in case you didn't know that, you know it now. Jumping into the next ingredient, we have beta-phenethylamine, HCl, as thin-fin. This is PEA, 750 milligrams. So PEA is an ingredient that crosses the blood-brain barrier, and it can attach to the C protein receptors, TAR1 and TAR2 in the brain. And what they do is they inhibit dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine reuptake. So it doesn't allow them to be reuptaked and absorbed back into the system, keeps them elevated. And in turn, it also elevates the production of dopamine, epinephrine, and norepinephrine in the brain too for cognitive function, focus, mood, well-being. Comes in very fast, usually within 15 minutes or so. I'll tell you how this thing comes in when we get to the effects, but it drops off pretty fast too. So a good pre-workout will have other ingredients coming in when this thing starts to drop off. So you get either a flow of mood and energy and focus, or you get a change. I'll let you guys know how this thing hits. Then we have alpha GPC as alpha size, which is another patented form of alpha choline there. This is 600 milligrams. This turns into acetylcholine in the brain and helps with neurotransmission. So it helps the neurons fire and communicate with one another to actually create a higher heightened memory, a heightened focus, and a heightened cognitive function. Then we have Vasodrive AP, 500 milligrams. This is like double the dose that you see in most pre-workouts. So this helps with eNOS, which is endothelial NOS. So it helps with the production of eNOS being secreted in the blood vessels to relax them for more dilation. Got more dilation going on there. It's been shown to help with inflammation. This particular ingredient, this is a tripeptide, and it is formed from 3 amino acids, valine, proline, and isoleucine. And this does the job of blocking an enzyme, which is angiotensin, blocking that enzyme, because when angiotensin goes from angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2, it creates vasorestriction. So the body wants to restrict the blood vessels a little bit. This blocks that capability, keeping those blood vessels dilated for blood flow, oxygen delivery, and some pumps and vasodilation in the gym. It's a fantastic ingredient. That's a whopping dose there. Then we have Himalayan pink salt at 500 milligrams. So pink Himalayan salt is actually an underrated ingredient. It's natural ingredient pretty much. It's just salt. So this helps with nerve function. It helps with fatigue, lessen fatigue. It's got sodium in it for some cell hydration to keep you hydrated, add to the pump effects. And also having peak Himalayan salt in there helps to power through. It helps along with the contractions. So it'll help maintain your contractional capability in the gym with that hydration effect, the fatigue effect. So it's a really good ingredient, simple ingredient. Throw some freaking salt in. Have a tablespoon of salt before you train. I mean, a lot of guys actually do that and they have some good benefits on there. Then we have some theobromine. Theobromine's at 500 milligrams. Apollon just loves that number. So theobromine has a diuretic effect. And it also helps with cerebral blood flow in certain portions or regions in the brain, which helps improve like the cognitive function, the focus and stuff like that. But not a big, giant, elevated feeling to it. It's more of a regenerating effect. So it helps with the neurons by supplying oxygen and blood up in the brain for that firing effect and the health effects. And it's going to give you some vasodilation as well, and feel good feeling. So with all that blood flow going on in the brain, it's gonna attach itself to a kind of a mood altering effect as well. Then we have caffeine anhydrous. We all know what caffeine is. Adenosine blocker, 350 milligrams. It blocks adenosine, awakens you. It helps with muscle contractions in the gym. Some caffeine. If you want to know a little bit more about caffeine, the video I did before this, I'll put a link up top. You guys can go watch that video. And I think the first ingredient I'll talk about is caffeine. And there's actually quite a few other effects with caffeine. It's very interesting. Then we have an extra, the hitter at 300 milligrams. This hits the brain. So what an extra does is an extra helps with attention network function in the brain, which is task-driven functioning. So it allows you to focus and dial into a task. Very, very good. And this is a fantastic, if you're ever looking for a study ingredient or something you just want to come and just dial in and be focused on and don't want to be let off it for a couple hours, look for this ingredient in your nootropics or what have you. It does a really whopping good job. Then we have NeuroPEA, which is Ariogenesis. Did I skip anything? No. Ariogenesis at 300 milligrams. Yeah, it's just a dosing on this sucker. So this is a neuromodulator. This has a PEA backbone in it. What I mean by that is if you look at the structure of this ingredient, PEA is actually in the center of it. And then it's got some other molecules coming off of it, which allows it to attach to the C protein TAR1 and TAR2 receptors and stay there longer than PEA does, because it avoids the monoamine oxidase coming in there, which is an enzyme that wants to balance out the function in the brain and cleaves off certain things so the body can get back to normal. So PEA gets cleaved off real quick, but Araya will stick there for a long period of time. It's harder to be cleaved off. So really good ingredient, and it'll stay with you for about an hour and a half. I think it's a half-life. And it's focus, mood, cognitive function, memory. Very good ingredient. Not much of a stimulant effect. It only applies a stimulant effect in the nootropic sense of it when you attach it to actual stimulants. Then we have Rhodiola Prime, which is rhodiola extract, rhodiola rosea, 300 milligrams. This is an adaptogen that has neurological benefits to it by providing a little bit of MAO inhibition. So this is a MAO inhibitor, and this will keep things elevated in the brain. So this stops monoamine oxidase from doing its job and cleaving things off. It'll block it. So all that cognitive function and focus is going to stay a little bit longer. It's going to help with your endurance in the gym, oxygen delivery, and power output. All in all, this was one of my favorite ingredients. So when I was making pre-workouts real quick back when I was doing CrossFit, I was using this. I was using Siberian ginseng. I was using all these and kind of stacking them together at certain dosages. I was just freaking flying through my training. I was giving it out. I felt like a dope dealer in the gym. I was bringing in these little packages and people, Dave, you got that pre-workout? Here you go. And then we got, jumping back in this, we got L of ATP, which is the ancient peak in apple extract at 150 milligrams. This is an ingredient that has over 70 elements in it. And it has magnesium, sulfur, oxygen, and something else in it. Carbon and nitrogen. So this is formed with all those different ingredients, the 70 elements, And the magnesium and some of these elements in here, the nitrogen and stuff like that, help with NAD production in the body, NAD plus. I'll put a video up top, a link if you want to go find out a little bit more about NAD plus, but this is for energy benefits. This allows the processing, the breakdown of carbohydrates, glycolysis, and shooting it into the mitochondria and the breakdown into ATP and power. So fantastic ingredient, does a good job, works pretty quick, so it's great to have in a pre-workout. Then we have Zoom RX. Zoom RX, 139 milligrams. This is slow-acting caffeine. This is going to deliver about 70% caffeine. So it's, I think, about 90 milligrams of caffeine. So we have close to about 450 milligrams of caffeine total in this. Now, an extra is different than dicaffeine malate. First of all, it's healthier. It's from the green coffee bean. So the caffeine comes from that. So it's more of that healthy caffeine kick. So it hits different, hits sharper, hits longer. And this has a longer action to it. So this will stick. I think dicaffeine malate is like a 4 or 5 hour. This is more like a 6 hour long lasting kick as it breaks down. And there's a certain percentage that breaks down in the beginning. I think it's like 40% along with the caffeine anhydrous, or 50. And then you got not less than 80% in like 6 hours. So this is the long hitter. Very good source. I patented form of caffeine, slow-acting caffeine. They just did this thing up. Then we got Cognitique right here at 100 milligrams. Cognitique used to be called something else. But anyways, this contains polyphenols that help with the neuroprotein brain derived nootropic factor in the brain. And this helps with the health of neurons, regenerating and repairing neurons in the brain for firing, cognitive function, focus, and memory. Fantastic. It's a healthy ingredient there. Then we have Synactive with 100 milligrams. Just so you guys know, I'm running this by itself. I got a bottle of Synactive, been running at 100 milligrams, 200 milligrams. So I want to review this because I'm like, does this thing really work? But anyways, so this helps with the regeneration of cells in the body because it helps. It helps with senescent cells. Senescent cells are damaged cells in the body. So this will help help the body get rid of these senescent cells and make room and help it produce new youthful cells that have a lot of power and strength to it. So very good health ingredient. It's got some anti-inflammatory benefits by blocking some inflammatory markers as well. So I'll tell you how this thing hits and you come off of it. Cannanese and 50 milligrams. So this is from the canna plant. This is a new ingredient that's coming out. This is like a replacement to L-theanine. And this has alkaloids in it. And one major alkaloid in this is, it's an alkaloid that actually is a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. It's called mesembine. Mesembine. So that alkaloid is the top dog alkaloid in this ingredient, along with some other alkaloids for the calming and relaxing type. But that alkaloid will inhibit the reuptake of serotonin. So as you're going through taking this pre-workout, and if you're getting you got the dopamine, noradrenaline, and adrenaline kicks, some of these ingredients have been shown to spike serotonin. So serotonin is more of a relaxing ingredient as well, but it's a mood elevating ingredient. So this ingredient will inhibit that from being reabsorbed and keep it elevated for a longer period of time for you so you can get the effects. Then we top it off with estrogen at 50 milligrams. This is bringing it all together in the digestive system. This also has some gut benefits to it as well, but we're not going to get into that. But this is for digestion purposes. So jumping into Triumph, the effects, part 2. I knew I was going to go down. I looked up when I edited that last video. I looked up and I was like 20 minutes. I was like long. So you guys can either choose to watch it or not, but it is an interesting label with some interesting ingredients in it. Sorry that went so long, but hey, this is the effects video. We're going to jump right into this. So you first take the scoop on this. We're going to get the beta-alanine out of the way. Beta-alanine gets lost in this, and I don't know if you actually feel the beta-alanine along with the niacin type effect, but it's an underlying feeling. It's almost like the combination of the two. It's a medium hit. So you feel like some pins and needles and a little bit of warmth. That stays with you for like 45 minutes, but it's medium and it's dulled. So you kind of feel in the face, on the arms and the shoulders, at least I do, for 45 minutes or so before, you start training. And you pretty much get lost in this other stuff that's going on here. But it is not harsh at all. It does, I believe it's a fantastic source of it because of the power output in this thing. You will notice through your whole training session. You can train. I trained an hour and a half one day, just nonstop, And I had power and strength all the way to the end of the workout. Like I was picking up weight going, oh crap, I still got that power from the beginning of the workout. So letting you guys know now, this thing is a great power and strength pre-workout. Great for powerlifting, great for bodybuilding. Not good for set after set after set after set after set training, because when you take this after the beta alanine comes in about, it does peak its head about 8 minutes in for me, and then you really feel it about 15 minutes. The way this thing comes in, focus and energy wise, is I'd say about 20 minutes, 25 minutes is when you start getting a feel good and an elevated focus. That PA starts coming in. And then as a PA starts dropping off, probably around, and you have a mood. So your mood gets elevated 20, 25 minutes in. You feel good. You start feeling good around 30 minutes. And then I'd say 35, 15 minutes after that or so, about 35 minutes, close to 40 minutes, the feel good starts to drop off as far as that, like a happy mood type feeling, a motivated type feeling, into a get shit done motivated type feeling, because you drop into this, I don't want to freaking dance. I don't even want to freaking listen to music. I want to train, because it's not like a music pre. It is a podcast pre. I mean, you want to listen to something, put a damn podcast on, because the music kind of just becomes annoying, because you're just like, get out of my head. I'm training right now. So me, the second time I used this, I put on a podcast, listened to a couple podcasts, and I was just doing my sets. I was just zoned in and going. The energy when it comes in, we'll get into the mood and the focus. The energy when it comes in, it is the smoothest. This is nothing like Assassin, nothing like Hooligan, nothing like Time Cop. This is totally different for Apollon. This is a total bodybuilding or powerlifting pre-workout, because the energy is high level, super smooth, like super smooth but high level. So like you have like tons of energy inside of you, but there's no anxiousness. You do not want to plow through your workout. You do not want to jump into one set after the next set. You want to take each set and each rep to its extreme, and you want to keep training on that energy. And the way this energy works is it's probably at the high end for about 2 hours, maybe two to 2.5 hours. I say it starts taping down around 2 hours, and then from 2 hours to about maybe another 2 hours, 3 hours is how it stays with you when you're coming off of it. Starts to taper down, nice and smooth. Never any jitters, never a heart racing, no crazy sweats on this thing, nothing out of the ordinary on this thing at all. It's just, this has a nootropic hit that is very, very high level. So let's get into that. So around that, the nootropic hit starts to come in at 20, 25 minutes, because you hit with the PA. And then as the PA mood starts dropping down into a different get shit done mood, which we'll get into that too, you switch over from a well-being, of feeling good and happy with this cognitive function focus, it's kind of there, into this like in your head. I mean, you are in your head. It's almost nootropic bubble, but it's not stim junkie. So I feel a nootropic head high buzz type thing from stim junkie pre's DMHA. This is more of a healthy, in your head, dialed. I'm going to say that 3-4 more times. Dialed in, head hit. That you are in your head and you are focused. Your attention is on a task at hand, and that stays with you for 3 hours on a high level. For me, maybe 2.5 before it starts tapering down, and then it stays for another 3 hours throughout the day. But coming down off this thing surprised the hell out of me. With the energy and the focus, you come down so dang smooth, and you come off it feeling like you weren't tasked, like your central nervous system wasn't hit, like your head wasn't hit with a bunch of nutrients or ingredients to elevate your focus or anything like that. You come off and you just got this like energy inside of you. You feel good, your head feels good, and you still feel strong. Okay, I'm going to talk about the recovery after this sucker too, after we talk about the mood. Mood comes in 20, 25 minutes. Happy. I'm listening to music. Boom, boom. I'm like, yeah, for 10, 15 minutes before I go into the gym. About 35 minutes in, 40 minutes in, the mood goes from like I don't want to dance anymore. I just want to get shit done. And then you just freaking get into your training. So it's very motivated, but not happy. But you dial into, I like to say, the get shit done mood with a sense of well being behind it. So you're happy to be there, you feel good, and you're just driven. You're just driven to get shit done. Okay, that mood sticks with you for a while. So like throughout your whole day, it almost seems like it sticks with you all day because when you taper off this thing, you're still going. Like I was still going every single day up until like 8, 9 o'clock at night, just wanting to get shit done. So it hits very well that way. What I noticed on this thing for those that are trying to build muscle and they're looking at pre-workouts, like what's the pre-workout to build muscle? This thing has fantastic recovery. I was recovered every single night and training my ass off during the day. So I didn't have like the aches and the pains or the muscle soreness that I would normally have. This really benefited me as far as recovery goes. I really liked it. The only reason why I wouldn't take this personally more, I took it 4 times straight, but I wouldn't take it more than 3 times straight again, is because the head hit is just, it's pretty strong for me. I'm not like a head hit person. I'm more of a hooligan pre-workout person. You go in the gym and then just like, I want to knock out set after set. I want to throw weights around. I want my mood to change into that yeah mood. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like happy, even though I like to be happy. You know what I'm saying? But this one here dials you into the serious training. This is a serious pre-workout for serious athletes who are doing bodybuilding style training or doing powerlifting type training in the gym. So I hope this review helped. I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed. No adverse side effects. This has no alpha yo, no sweating, no jitters, no nothing. Super smooth. And the energy, to describe it again, it feels like the energy on this thing is no worse than a high stim, like the high air stim quality stim, not stim junkie, daily driver pre-workouts, because it's so damn smooth. And you're in alpha brain the whole time. So that Cantonese and the way they have this thing delivered with the neuro PA, because that does kind of give that alpha brain as well, you have kind of an L-theanine type atmosphere hit without that L-theanine crash to it. So fantastic job putting this thing together. It's stacked, but it's going to be, this is going to be for a particular crowd for sure. And they know it. They know what they're doing. But I love the way some of these things come together. This one especially came together very nice, and it surprised me. So here we go. Triumph Elite Pre-Workout by Apollon Nutrition. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I'm going to get going. This is a long sucker. I'm losing my voice. We'll see you guys next time on the channel. Thanks for watching.